Howdy. So this week, for my Disciple Learning Project update, I have a bit of a story, short story. Uh, Something really cool that happened. Well, not... That was very strange. Something kind of cool. I guess what I have to say is so amazing the camera had to come into focus. So as I'd mentioned, early on in the project, my car overheated. Or it's not earlier in the project. The car overheated. And I had that sense I needed to carry the fluid with me, the coolant, because it had all spilled out and it was even lower than it seemed when I put more in the tank. Well, actually, I was wrong about that. There was less than I thought, but it's not because it all spilled out. I mean, it's plausible. That could have been a thing. But actually, my leak had gotten worse. The water pump casing or housing had broken, and the thermostat had also broken. So there was a much bigger leak than previously had existed. And I suspect it's because of the way I was refilling it. I was just waiting for the pressure to release, and then I would dump in some coolant and then seal it, and I didn't burp the system, which is when you kind of get air bubbles out. And it probably built up pressure and just split open the parts that were already cracked or whatever. The point is, I damaged my car and I've gotten it fixed. And I found that out because on my way to work on Wednesday, the car actually overheated and it was like right on the highway. And I got pulled over. I didn't have any coolant on me because I thought, well, no more issues. I can stop, taking coolant with me. And so I pulled over and I got the heater on. And after it cooled down a bit and it was safe to cross, because I was in the left lane. I was like in the far left breakdown lane. I turned on the car and I eased my way across, got off the highway, went to the gas station because I also needed fuel, and I went inside, and the coolant I normally use wasn't available, and there's another one that I use when that one's not available, and I couldn't find that one either. I found one, but it didn't specifically say it was pre-diluted, and that's really what I needed because I wasn't about to start measuring and then just dealing with things before work, because I was already in a rush to get to work because it's my flex week. And yeah, like the more time I waste before work is the more time I have to spend at work, and that means the less time I have to work on homework, and it just totally screws up my schedule. And on top of that, we had our Halloween thing going on. So long story short, I don't buy the coolant. I buy the fuel that I need. I not really, like I don't fill it. I put in like $10, and then I just go down the road a little bit, cautiously, to a dealership, and I take the car into the service station and I tell them what's happening, and I ask them to look at it, and they say $125 and we'll figure out what's wrong, and from there, if you want to fix it, we'll apply that to the repair. If not, now you know what's wrong. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay the $125, get it figured out, and then I will just fix it myself. But I felt impressed to have them fix it, and actually, I felt impressed to leave it there. But somehow I'd convinced myself that if they just topped it off, I would be good until my day off when I could go back and just wait on it to be fixed. Well, no, that didn't work out that way. I found out on the following morning that wasn't really what I should have done, because it overheated again, and this time even further out of town. And so I thought, okay, I can top it off, because the night before I bought 2 bottles of coolant so that I would have enough to get me through whenever I finally did get it fixed. Uh, and no, it broke down further out, and I thought, no, if I wait until Friday when I'm off, then I will have to potentially find a way to get from even greater distance to this dealership, and that's not something I'm willing to deal with, to mess with. It's too dangerous being on the side of the road. So I dropped it off Thursday morning, and then I just spent the night, at a friend's house, and then he took me to the dealer in the following morning and paid for the repairs, and then went and played some Magic, and I got back home just in time to meet with my instructor for my English class. So, I guess I'm really, really fortunate that everything came together the way that it did. I got the heads up because I was doing my scripture study, and I was preparing to receive instruction and understanding, and so I was alerted to the possibility that I would need that coolant, so I put it in the car and I kept it with me, and that got me home from the first outing. And then, this other time that it happened, it was really easy to say, well, this is what I've been doing, so why wouldn't I just buy another bottle of coolant and just keep doing this until I have time to figure it out myself? But I was strongly impressed. I had this really, really, really strong sense that I needed to take it to the dealer instead of to my buddy, or instead of, at a later point in time, or instead of just popping the hood and just going through the whole thing myself, which we all know probably wouldn't have been anytime soon, because I'm just super busy with school and then just other stuff. So I had that strong urge. I need to do it. And it's really perfect timing. I had Friday off, so it's not like it would have messed up my work schedule. I mean, it didn't. I lost some sleep. I was exhausted yesterday just because, I didn't go home. And I stayed up playing Magic with my friend. And anyway, the point is, everything really fell into place. And I think it could have gone a lot worse. And I was spared from a lot worse, a much worse experience, because I was sensitive to those messages, and honestly, I really think that was inspired, because if I had just stuck with my original idea that had been working for months already, of just topping off the tank and going about my way, I could have ruined it even worse. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a right way to say it. But I could have made things much worse. So, anyway, that's my experience for this week. I haven't gotten to read as much out of that book that I said I was going to read, but I've been sticking to my scriptures for personal and academic study. And, yeah. So, that's my update. Later.